Here we are. Yahoo! Yahoo, everyone! It is Tuesday evening. Hello. Hello, hello. Let's see if these are going to be here tonight or if they're going to be underneath. Okay, guys, I'll wait for you to come in while I do a little bit more of a chat with Spirit and see what Spirit has for us this evening. Oh, we're back to having comments in the right place. Truly, Facebook, you just keep me guessing. Hello, Madeline. Hello, my Ray Louise. Hello, darling. How are you? Hi, Madeline. So nice to have you with me tonight. No, that was the wrong emoji, wasn't it? Yes, big waves. Oh, look out, here they all go. Joanne Dickonowski, good evening. Amy, hello to you. Yes, Ray Louise, hello. Jody, good to see you. And Justine, hello, Justine. Cat, good evening. Oh, happy moon evening. Yeah, I reckon. She's a pretty busy moon at the moment. Hi, Laura. How are we all, girls, and everyone else who is watching? So, I am very well. Thank you very much, Laura Lou. Yeah, evening, Cat Gray. Good to see you here too. So this week we have comments back where they're supposed to be, but I see that it's a little bit jittery on the screen. So hopefully it will stay, it'll settle itself down and it will stay, just who knows at the moment. Well, it's a funny thing to say, isn't it? Belinda Jones, good evening to you. So for everyone who is new here, in the comment bar and also in the description, you will find information about my work. You'll also find the links where you can book a channeled guidance session, you can book a healing session, and I would love you to join the H.E.A.L community or my spiritual community. Why is it separate? Why is it different? Well, I talk kind of different things on both space, and I live a very balanced life. Hello, Jason. Pink Moon. Aren't you in Perth? I didn't see no pink moon. Come on, boy. You need to change your dealer. Oh, that's awesome, Ray Louise. Yeah, yum. Oh, ultimate heart warmer. Maybe I should call it that, Ray Louise. That's awesome. So, for those of you who are new here, great big welcome to you. For those of you who come and sit with me every Tuesday, I love you to bits, and it's so good to be back with you again this week. For those who don't know me, I don't need you to ask me questions, okay? I don't need you to ask me anything. I am a natural born conduit, a natural born channel. So I've been sitting with Spirit and getting ready for you this evening, and Spirit will go to where Spirit wishes to go, and they will bring the messages through for you. So there's no need for you to ask. I don't choose, Spirit chooses. If you are serious about wanting guidance, then you will book a session. If you are serious about healing, you will book a session. Okay. Ashley, nice to meet you and welcome too. Anyone from outside of Australia on? Brenda, hello. I know where you're from. Good morning to you. Good evening, either way around. So, Megan, I love bees, and I was actually having a chat with one today as it was zipping around. So when I was asking Spirit what they would like to bring to you this evening, are we going to talk about anything in particular? And then we do like to hear from Ray Louise what she wants to wind up with Spirit. So, love. Love was actually the word that they... Oh, Megan sends a nice deep red heart, perfect. They, the divine and spirit, want to speak about love. What would they have to say about love? They also want to speak about animals and the incredible. Hi Sharon, lovely. Thank you very much. Lovely to have you back too. So animals, you know, when you have pets, when you have animals around you, don't forget that they have a soul, they have a spirit too. And the one thing that animals bring to mere mortals is unconditional love. How many of you can say that you have mastered unconditional love of yourself? Ooh, I hear crickets. It's not the easiest thing to do, is it? And unfortunately, it's not something that we're taught. But you know, that's the way of this human experience. We're here for the experience. We're not here for the perfect ride, and we're not here to be perfect. Yes, Ray Louise. Our animals are also often our healers. Oh, I love that, Cat. I love that. I'm a work in progress. And yes, darling, when people recognize that they have that opportunity and that this experience in this world is a work in progress. Oh, Rachel, broken heart, darling. Sharon. Well, I got them here too. That was, you know, waiting for you guys to tell me that you've got unconditional love all sorted. You've cracked it. Sure you have. So animals, you know, it doesn't matter what your little girl, Megan, is that a dog or is that a human child? It doesn't matter what is going on in your life. Your animals try their darndest to save you. When an animal is sick, now I'm going to say that over the last, 20 years, so 2 decades, I've been called to see, beautiful. I've been called to see so many animals because they have had skin diseases, allergies, intolerances, cancer, you know, broken all sorts of things. And when I meet the owners, or the big one, anxiety and separation anxiety, when I meet the owners, I can see why the animal has got these problems. Our beautiful pets, because they have got unconditional love for us, they also have the ability to take on our stress. And that is what their unconditional love is about. They will actually sacrifice their life for yours so that you can live a better life. As far as I'm concerned, that's ripped off for the animals. But they do. So when I go and see an animal that is constantly sick, or, you know, it's always got something wrong, it really needs for the person to have a look and see what's going on in their life. It's not fair that an animal, as much as they do it out of unconditional love, like, is it fair that they take on our rubbish? Is it fair they take on our pain? You know, even an animal that is around smokers, for example, they will take on all the damage that the smoke does to save their owner. Now, last year, I farewelled my dear old cat who was 20, and we used to call him Whinger and old fella. He wasn't my cat. He appeared in our ceiling 20 years ago, and we went everywhere looking for who owned him, and nobody owned him. So he stayed with us. So she got annoyed, Ray Louise, you know, one of those, probably wears a mask and all that stuff too, you know. It's called bar. Anyway, it's called compliance. That's what it's called. So everywhere that I moved, this dear old fella came with me. Anyway, he was getting sick and it was nearly his time to go. And I said to him, please don't put me through this again. I can't bear to have to put you down. And I know leaving them to suffer is, it's not right and it's not fair. But because of what I am and what I see, taking a life is not acceptable. So having to put a pet down is very, very challenging for me. It goes against everything that I know and everything that I am. So I said to this old fella, please, would you just, when it's your time, I love you so very much, please just go. Anyway, I don't know if you've been on with me when a certain young cat named Slinky walks across the front of the screen. But Slinky appeared in our backyard just after I lost my dog as a terrified and abused little kitten. And he was as savage as all get out. He was terrified of humans because they're the ones that had abused him. He was only about 8 weeks old. But as Slinky grew, he became boss. And he was very naughty to the old fella. He was very bossy. Naughty boy. So Slinky got given right of way. And the old fella used to sit and look at me and talk to me, and he would say, that's my couch. Slinky was on it. And I would say to him, you make too much mess on the couch. You've got a bed there. I'd made him another bed, right? But he'd sit and stare at me and be telling me it's my couch. Anyway, he got a bit senile and he couldn't spend as much time inside. As he was getting weaker and heading towards his end of days, it got worse. So he got left outside a lot more. I made a hutch for him. I made a little house for him outside, but he would look at me with such broken eyes. And then as he became weaker, I was at Body Balance and we were just getting ready to go into the relaxation part of the class. And I just got myself all settled in and the old fella came to me. I was at the gym, I wasn't home. He came to me and he said, I never left you, but you left me. I grabbed my jacket and I broke my heart. He felt that because I was giving all my attention, fun, cuddles and love and the couch to Slinky, then he saw that as me leaving him. So he felt abandoned. And yet all he'd done for the 20 years he'd been with me was give love. Humans are very fickle with love. And you know why? Because most of the time they don't understand the concept of it. They don't really understand what love means for themselves, let alone how to receive love. Did you know that? Did you know that? You actually need to know how to receive love, for love to be able to come to you. Yeah. Well, Ray Louise, he came to me in another class a couple of weeks later and said, I don't want to die alone. So I grabbed my jacket again and there was more tears under the jacket. But you see, the thing is, people, that without love, what is there? Without love, there's nothing. Without love, you can't heal. Without love, there's no happiness. Yeah, Jodie Marie, that was me all right. Man, oh man. And by the way, I promised him I wouldn't let him die alone, and he didn't. I sat with him until he passed. Dear old fella. And then my beautiful dog Millie that passed before him, I nicknamed the old fella Last Man Standing because everyone else that had been with us had gone, but he was still here. But our dear Millie, she was a rescue dog. I rescued her. And she slipped on the wet tiles one morning. She'd already had a sore back. So took her to the vets, rushed her to the vets, and unfortunately the vet did not handle her in the right way and actually caused spinal damage to her. And they said, there was nothing I could do, and I wouldn't have that. So I brought her home to look after her myself. I brought her home to heal her. Not my right. Wasn't my choice. I had a vet here as she deteriorated, and the vet was as broken-hearted as me. She was a lovely lady. And while I was waiting for that vet to see what she could do for Millie sat bolt upright. Now, she had a broken back. She hadn't been and couldn't do that. But she sat bolt upright, and I went, oh, yes, yes, thank you, Lord. No. She looked straight at me and she said, let me go. And I just did what Jody Maurice put up there already. I just lost it. So the thing is, and this is going to be really hard for some of you to swallow, that's not unconditional love. I'm not saying we shouldn't cry at our loss. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have a broken heart. But when we understand our unconditional love that isn't, we can manage loss a lot better. And we can also come to understand what that loss is representing to us so that we can learn for ourselves. She was a Staffy cross. Now, she was supposed to be, Rachel, a Staffy cross Roddy, but there was no Roddy to be seen. But she was a Staffy cross. She was more Staffy than anything. She had the markings of a H.E.A.L. Yeah, she was an amazing little girl. Beautiful. Sarah, hello. And hello to darling Ethan and now I've got my story stuck. Sorry, Sarah. So unconditional love is something that enables us to have a far greater experience in this life, and it's what enables us to be able to heal. The thing about unconditional love is, they're beautiful, aren't they, Rachel? They're gorgeous dogs. The thing about unconditional love is that there's no attachment and there's no expectations. Attachment and expectations are what bring us undone and what causes a lot of hurt and a lot of difficulty in our lives. Good evening, Natasha. Lovely to have you join me. Thank you. We're talking about love, Natasha. I asked Spirit what they wanted to bring to everyone this evening, and it was actually love was the answer. I also had Enoch arrive. For those of you who may be aware of the different disciples, the different archangels and guides and prophets, hello, Pillar, Enoch, the book of Enoch is referenced in the First Testament very much. So I actually had Enoch appear when I was preparing for you this evening. So a lot of the guidance that will come through this evening is from Enoch, and that is a really lovely privilege. Hello, T. Yeah, they're an awesome dog, aren't they? So love, and being able to love means being able to let go. You see, if you have blockages in your body, you can't let go. If you have any kind of pain, any kind of disruption in your body, in your money flow, in having enough, there is something that you've not been able to let go of. Thank you, Ray Louise. Thank you, T, and back to you too. That's really lovely. Yes, Natasha. And true love, Natasha says true love, to know true love at the moment. To have, oh, chihuahua, they are a hoot. To be able to harness true love, unconditional love, is the purest form of love. So to be able to harness that, you have to be able to let go. You have to be able to have no expectations, no attachments. Wowzers. How are you all sitting with that? That's really tough, isn't it? If anyone just puts their hand up and go, no, no, it's easy, I'm going to tell you that that's not, and I will look straight into you and find where you are not letting go. So we're talking about love. So I'm going to go to your shoulders, because any issue that you have in the shoulders, frozen shoulder, restricted movement, painful shoulders, torn ligaments, torn tendons, anything that is around the shoulder area, then you are most definitely holding on tight to things about love. There is brokenness, sorrow, pain in your heart, and it is radiating out to the shoulders. If you have anything that is in the back of your neck, then you need to visit both the throat chakra and your heart about love and what it is that has got you caught up and bound up with regards to love. And being able to, yes, Natasha, thank you, that's exactly right. It's not easy at all. So being able to get yourself aware of where you are with love, and also to understand where you're being fickle with love. You know, in this crazy gadget dependent world which is just destroying mankind, I will step into that in a moment. Otherwise, Ray Louise is going to tell me that I mustn't put comments in and then not expand on them. By the way, Ray Louise, I've had a lovely time with 2 aliens today. You all know about that? So when humans, when people are being very fickle with love, this is where they create massive attachment. Jess Lopez, good evening. They are attached to material things. You know, oh, I love that. Oh, I just love that. Oh, I love that. Everything's love. And love, love, love. But it's not love. It simply isn't love. It's just a word that is so loosely thrown around. You know, people have this friend that they just love so much and love in the company of, and then when you see them a month later, oh no, I don't talk to them anymore. It's like, God, what happened to the love? Oh no, 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 they did the wrong thing or this or that. Listen up, people, I'm talking about love. You're not allowed to take me off track. I'll get into trouble from spirit. So that's exactly right, Jess Lopez, and that must be why Spirit wanted me to address the topic of love tonight. And with Natasha's comment that, you know, knowing love at the moment is so very important. So have a look at your own physical self and find where there is pain, tension, blockages. Do you go to the toilet all the time? Is your bowel really working the way it should? Have you got food intolerances? I can send a few over to you, Ray Louise. So, you know, have a look, check in with yourself, and also check in on where you are with previous supposed loves, previous supposed relationships where you thought you were in love. Were you really? My sister used to say that I was addicted to wedding cake, and I was in love with the idea of being married, getting married. She could have been right. I do love wedding cake. So I also love being bride. You know, it's just so amazing to be a bride. But oh my God, everything that goes with it, yuck. Um, cut it out, you girls, now. So, when we're looking at love, how many of you here have got really, really young siblings that you might have had to look after as babies? How many of you here have got? Hi, David. Oh, wow, that's awesome, and thank you. How many of you here have got children? You know, for a little time, unconditional love steps in when a baby is born, or you bring a new pet into the home and it's a baby. Unconditional love is what you experience there. Yeah. Yes, Ray Louise, apparently we have got an alien club. Perhaps I'll have to do something about that. Oh, look out. Electric blue alien. Pillar, send that back to where it belongs and be careful what you're doing. So it is in those moments that you experience unconditional love. And if you can recall the feeling, you'll notice a difference in your physical body. But as soon as you step back into the expectations and the attachment, in comes fear. Have you noticed that? And what's that fear? The fear is of something happening to that being that you love, to that thing that you love. Have you ever bought a brand new car and then you go, I don't want to take it out because people are going to scratch it. It might have an accident and something might happen to it. That's attachment. Oh, I love my car. You can't love a car. So it is how you go about love. But here's the kicker for you. It's how you go about love of yourself. Now, if you've mastered unconditional love of yourself, then you have also mastered unconditional acceptance. Now, love is going to be a breeze for you. Yes, Jodie Marie, absolutely. Fear takes over. Now you cannot be in a space of unconditional love. Yeah. Maria, hello. Giving birth and stuff was giving birth to my heart and world with legs. Yeah. Now, you have to be careful with that because you can also go overboard with what you think is love of your child when in fact you're terrified of losing it, so you make them your entire world and everything is about them. Everything is about the child because you can't bear for them to be unhappy. You can't bear for them maybe not liking you if you're strict with them. Well, I'm very pleased to hear that, Ray Louise, that you're being more loving to yourself because that's where it starts. Oh, that's excellent, Natasha. Good timing, love. So when you have a child, yes, Rachel, and that is where you will always get unconditional love, is from your animals, particularly a dog. A cat is a little bit like, yeah, whatever. I'll love you when I'm ready and you'll pat me when I'm ready. So I love the arrogance of cats. They crack me up. Yes, Pillar, in order to love, we also have to open to be hurt. Now, that's a really interesting statement because it has some merit to it, but I'm going to say, oh, hello, Kiki, hello, how are you? And that's fantastic. In order to love, you've got to be able to love yourself first. Yes, you can be very, very hurt. You can be devastated in love. God, Lord knows, I've been there. But you know where I've been most devastated in love? The loss of my animals. And some people would say, careful with Gwenda, she loves animals more than she does humans. So have a look at this love factor around kids and really think about it. Because what's driving that is fear. It's fear of losing them. And that is not unconditional love. Now, you don't go around letting your kids leap off tall buildings, telling them that they can be Superman and fly. Well, that's just dumb, isn't it? You know, we've got to maintain boundaries, discipline, common sense, for goodness sake. But what I'm saying here is that people who feel that their children are their absolute world and therefore the children get to rule the world of that home, that is not unconditional love. That is a parent in fear. Am I making sense to you here? Yeah, I'm with you, Jess. So, understanding love is to know what it means to you. Because the funny thing is, it will mean something different to each of us. We may use the same expressions, like you might say, well, to be loved is to be cared for, it's to be looked after, it's to have someone there I can talk to, it's to be supported, it's to feel warm and fuzzy, it's to have someone that, you know, that's going to hold me through the rough times, someone that accepts me for who I am. That's right, Pillar. Animals don't know how to. That's exactly right. They also don't know how to put expectations and demands, although my Slinky knows how to make demands. How to let go of the fear. Are you asking a question there, Jodie Marie? How do we let go of the fear? Love is also having tough love. Yes, it is. Megan, not quite. I don't see that yet. Yeah. So, if you have been in a relationship, yes, Julia, exactly what I'm coming to. If you have been in a relationship that you thought was love, and it probably was for a period of time. So you've been in a relationship and then it breaks up, you will be in extra fear over your children and more loss. It's just not unconditional love. You must start with yourself, and you must come to a place of understanding what unconditional love is. And linked in with that, which comes first? It's like the chicken and the egg. Unconditional acceptance leads to unconditional love. So if you've got any form of irritation in your physical self, if you've got shoulder problems, you need to visit your heart. You need to really see what is in there that is that you're struggling with, that you're holding on to, that you're not able to let go of. And then from that, learn what it is that you have attached yourself to from that hurt. So Pillar had a really interesting statement that I said, yes, it's got some merit in it. To be able to love, we must also open our heart to be hurt. Is that necessary? Ooh, when you understand unconditional love, you're not going to step into being hurt. But the only way that we get to grow through love is pain. And love most often brings the greatest pain that we can experience in our life. The thing is, do we learn from it? And this is where the trouble starts. Most often we don't, and that's why you see yourself going through the same kind of relationship, the same kind of person, the same kind of problems, because we haven't learnt what it was we needed ourselves to understand and to learn in that relationship. So love is the crux of all things. With no love, there's no hope. With no hope, there's nothing. With no hope, there's no healing. And you can do as many healing things, modalities, visits as you like. But if you're not going to step into understanding what that hurt is that you're carrying around, nothing is going to heal you. And coming back to filling that void, filling that place of hurt with your own love. Because your soul knows only two things: pure joy and unconditional love. That's it. That's the only thing your soul knows. Pure joy, unconditional love. Now, here's a funny thing for you. Too much joy can actually blow your heart into heart attack. What about when you're really content without being in a relationship? Then you're in a really good place, Ray Louise. But are you really? Or are you avoiding relationships? If you are really super content and you can say, I'm all good by myself, 100%, then you're on the right bus with unconditional love. But a lot of people will tell me that they're really content. Yeah, I'm really content in my life right now. Not true. Not true. Yes, Rachel, you're not alone, love. Not alone. There are so many people that spend their whole life not having joy, not being happy, and not knowing what real love is. But it's never too late to learn. Julia, too much joy actually overstimulates the heart, and you cause short circuits or minor heart attacks or valve blocks in the heart, because too much joy wrecks the heart chakra and it can't function properly. We're not supposed to have, be on big highs of joy all the time. So your soul only knows unconditional love, pure joy. So whenever you need to fix things in your life or you want more guidance in your life, go to your heart. Go to your heart and find out what is in there. What is it that you can let go of? What is it that you can surrender? What is it that you have got expectations and conditions around? Yes, Rachel. Yeah. Kiki, most people don't love. We're not taught how to have unconditional love. And as Ray Louise and Natasha said, it's not easy to achieve. To have unconditional love is something that is a practice. It's something that you've really got to be able to harness, to be able to master. My girls in the Soul Mastery Collective, they'll tell you how much of a struggle it's been for them to understand their own level of love and where they're at. And as Maria says, I'm still learning this, love myself. We were always taught that loving yourself means you're arrogant, you're selfish. But that's a different kind of love, I'm not ready to give up things like my single crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't want to give up my bed either, Ray Louise. So let's have a look at a few other things here. I'm just going to ask where Spirit would like to go and what we'd like to do tonight. And I'm just going to remind you all that in the information are my links for you to have a full guided channeled session with me, a full healing, join the Soul Mastery, join the School of Wesh. There is so much available for you as a internationally registered and recognised spiritual mentor, holistic wellness practitioner. Yes, Brenda Mead. Any loss of a child is the worst thing for any parent. My grandmother was never the same when my dad passed. He was her baby, but he was, he had 4 daughters. He was a full-grown man, but he was always her baby and her only son. Nothing can repair or take place of the loss of a child. But for you, Brenda, in the space where her life was taken by someone else, someone who claimed they loved her, someone who led her to believe that they love her, and yet that is the most savage type of manipulative love. There's nothing loving or love about it. It is possession. What your daughter went through, Brenda Mead, was possession, and a person who had no clue how to even be compassionate. This person that was responsible for taking her life. If there's one thing we can impart with you tonight, is that that person faces their punishment, for want of a better word, from that day, and will be in that place of punishment for the rest of their life. And yes, that doesn't bring your daughter back, most definitely. But if it can help your heart to know that there is justice, there is ways that sort these things out. For your own shattered heart, Brenda, it's going to take quite a long time, if ever, and please hear me with the deepest of compassion on this, that the one thing that will help you, and it will allow your daughter to be able to visit you in dream, is for you to be able to surrender your displacement over the fact that she was murdered. Allowing yourself to be able to move past that is what's going to allow her to be able to come to visit you, and visit you in dream. Brenda, she does come around you. She does come to visit you. She stands with you quite often. But when we are so very aggrieved, and particularly when it is something that is such a tremendous shock like that, it's very hard for our loved ones to be able to get through to us. So I want you to know, Brenda, that she does come to you. She does often come and hold your hand. It's very difficult. But when you are able to move past what happened and allow yourself to go into the space of her being that beautiful, vibrant child, that beautiful young woman, then she will be able to show herself to you. Now look, I'm going to say to you all that even for myself, with the ability to connect with my loved ones, to be able to see them, it still upsets me. So for those of you who aren't able to easily see your loved ones or hear them, it's doubly as hard when they do come through for you. Really difficult. But my heart goes out to you, and I can see that a lot of our audience also, Brenda. Please take the love that we offer to you, and let that help your heart. Let that help you. Ray Louise, can you pick up Heartbreaking People? Come into work last week. As soon as she came in, I felt very nervous. My head hurt and I had chills. My daughter was brutally murdered. Yes, Ray Louise. Yes, you can pick up on Heartbreaking People. Nothing kind of gets past my radar. But for yourself, what you were feeling was that lady. You weren't feeling the spirit of her daughter. You were actually picking up on that lady herself, of what that has done throughout her energy fields and the distress that she feels over the loss of her daughter. So it makes her feel sick. This disturbance in my throat is actually spirit wanting to speak. The spirit of Brenda's daughter, and she shows me that there was a lot of restriction around her throat. Yes, Maria, I'll bet they are, love. So earth yourself, please. Keep yourself grounded. For any of you that are empaths, as we go through this, make sure that you are grounded. Hold your energy in a high vibration. Understand that these things are not yours. They don't belong to you, so there's no need for you to step into them. As an empath, having empathy means that you have the empathy, but you don't have to own what is happening with someone else, okay? There's something you really need to teach yourselves to work through. I do work with a lot of empaths. Thank you, Julia. That's lovely. So I get a lot of disturbance with her legs also. This is not the platform for me to bring her through on with what she wants to show me or to talk about. So, Brenda, I would really encourage you to either book in with me or someone that you would trust to bring her in so that she can speak to you, because as you can see, this is also upsetting for other people on here. So we want to bring, let's bring a little bit of love and warmth back into everything for everyone in the greatest of respect. So love people, begin to love yourself. And you know, one of the 10 commandments is love thy neighbour, which means being tolerant as well. Yeah, absolutely. You must, Ray Louise is saying, I just try to extend my love and hold that energy when I feel sadness in people. At any time when you're going to extend any kind of energy out for someone else, and particularly when it's of the highest vibration of love, you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself first and that you sit yourself in that love. And this is another thing about unconditional love. When you have got unconditional love and unconditional acceptance of yourself, you then have an everlasting, never depleting flow that you can give out to others and give out to the world. And you are not depleted in any way. Does that make sense? So this again is why it's so very important for empaths to make sure that you have got a really strong affinity with yourself and a tremendous love for yourself. That's how you can actually assist other people a lot more in this world. Right. Let's go into a beautiful meditative space, okay? Julia, darling, I do believe you're in a particular place where you can most certainly start a new journey and heal your heartbreak. So let's go into that. Let's take you all into a beautiful heart healing meditation. Although brief, it will be powerful. So anyone that wants to be able to stay with me here and come into this lovely space of love, and I'm going to draw you into the greatest light of the purest love and the highest love that there is in the universe as we know it. And this is to the exclusion, absolute and utter exclusion of all beings, all entities, all spirit who are not of the light of God, who are not in the light of the Creator of mankind. So for those of you who would like to stay with me to come in to this magnificent space of love, pure love, you're welcome to stay. So I ask you to place your feet gently on the floor, lift your back, ensure that your chin is up and comfortable. Allow your hands to be soft by your side, and just have your phone or your laptop, whatever it is that you're on, nearby so you can hear. And very gently I ask you draw your eyes down like a beautiful soft silken blind, and very gently allow your chin to draw down as if taking it gently towards your heart. Notice your breath and notice the shift in the breath as I wrap you in the most beautiful, divine, golden light. It shimmers in pink and it is encased in emerald green. And as you sit with me, You will feel in every breath the expansiveness of that shimmering gold beam of light, pink surrounds, and emerald green. And as you breathe again, you'll find your out-breath seems so deep, like you are sinking and sinking, sinking into the most beautiful sense of peace, a depth of peace that is beyond anything that you have ever felt. You notice that your body feels as if it is sinking down further and further. Feels like it's becoming smaller. And yet, the light around you is getting bigger and bigger. And now you are just that light. You are in the divine presence of the holiest of lights, the unconditional love, purest love. You are but light, nothing more. There is nothing of your physical self, only the purity of your soul that sits in that golden light, an orb of light. As you gently now find yourself starting to lift and float, as you are in the orb of light and consumed by that light of gold, shimmering pink and emerald green, and you as the orb float softly toward the sky. You hover above what is seen as the roof of your house. You move higher into the night sky, where there is nothing but darkness, and you being the purest light that there is. While you are here in the darkness where it is pure, serene and peaceful, united only in the purest of love, in the golden orb, shimmering pink and emerald green. All that has no place with you any longer in hurt, in despair, nothing that is any less than the purest love leaves you as you are out in the darkness of the night. You feel the lightness around you as you gently come back as this beautiful orb, making your way back down into the physical self. The orb encases you still, but now it is lighter, it is thinner. As you start to feel the weightedness of your physical self return, and you notice the breath again. You notice the breath of the body as it rises and falls, and feel the weighted physical self. But you're aware of the sense of the golden light, the shimmering pink and the emerald green. Notice a difference, a gentleness, a peacefulness. Allow yourself to welcome the freedom of release of all that is not serving you, and the beauty of that pure divine love. Begin to feel your feet and your hands, and allow yourself to gently return. allowing yourself to return back into the physical self completely, and let me know when you are back. You can wrap yourself in that beautiful orb of golden light, shimmering pink and emerald green anytime. You're very welcome, Rebecca. Glad you enjoyed it. Oh, that's lovely, Pillar. You're welcome, Jody Marie and Kiki. It's going to help you all sleep this evening, and you will find a different sense of love in your heart. Well, that's beautiful, Ray Louise. Typical, hey? Typical. Teachers, mischief maker. I wouldn't expect anything less. You're welcome, Megan. Oh, nice, Rebecca. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here and joining in. It's a pleasure, Ray Louise. Pleasure. Now, Pillar had a question up here, which I'd like to address for all of you. The question was, I was wondering if you can connect with any of my spirit guides and what they are guiding me with. Your spirit guides will always guide you with that you are asking for. Oh, Julia, yes, that's wonderful. Your spirit guides will always answer what it is that you are calling for. So whatever they're working on at any time with you is what you have been asking for help with. Remembering that they cannot make your decisions for you. They can only respond to your call. And if your call for what you believe you want isn't really aligned, they still have to answer you. But they will step aside when you are really off your path until you finally go, well, this isn't working. Okay, lovely. Thanks, Maria. Be nice to just let yourself, all of you, just be wrapped up in that sphere of the gold light. But thank you very much. It's lovely. So anytime that you want to know what your spirit guides are working on with you, ask yourself what you oh, okay, Natasha, that'll be nice. And you don't go heads up in there though. You can, Ray Louise, you can, through gratitude. So letting your spirit guides be able to guide you in the best way, then you must always ask for all that is for your highest good, and ask to be released of all that is not of your highest good. And we're back to let go. No attachments, no expectations, no looking and going, did they fix it? Is it sorted out? Are they bringing it? That's all attachment, right? So when you want to change things in your life, when you want to be able to, like Julia, to have a mended heart, to be able to find the love that you want in your life, begin with you, and begin with what isn't serving you, what isn't right for you. Change those things. Change the way that you're thinking, and readdress the way that you are interacting with hurt and disappointment. Okay? So it's that time of the night, everyone. And again, I say, in the information, there are all of the links for you to join my various programs, to be able to book a proper channeled guidance sessions or a healing session. And I would love to be of service for you. I would love some of you to come into the Soul Mastery Collective, which is beginning on the 11th of May. Fantastic mentoring online program that is. And for those of you who are a little bit out there and special, there's the School of Wesh, otherwise coming in for a healing or a reading. And in the meantime, I bid you all a wonderful evening and thank you so very much for being here. And I'll look forward to seeing you all again next week. Same bat station, same bat time. Thank you, Ray Louise. Oh, very welcome, Megan. Very welcome. Take good care, everyone. Good night now.